Well, hi, I'm Luke and I will walk you through mapping process of this car. That's Mazda 77 from Le Mans, I guess. Before we start work, we need to find out few commandments of mapping, because unless many people thinks that mapping is not important part of the graphic designing, it's really easy to screw up really good model with pure mapping, and the pro model can be look real nice with good textures that are created on the very good mapping. So in fact that's not the part of the process that you just have to pass by. It's have to be done really well to achieve really good end result. So the first commandments would be work smart, not hard. By this I mean that you should think before you do anything. Before you go on the car, you need to have a plan how to approach it. Also, many newcomers are collapsing all of the modifiers put on the car by modeler. For example, mirror or symmetry tools. Those two are really important because with symmetry tools, for example, on the bonnet, you could map just the half bonnet and the second part would be done just like that, by collapsing this option. So it really saves time, your efforts, make the work faster and easier. And at the end, maybe one day you'll work on the commercial things with the graphic. Why not making something faster and easier when you are paid the same amount of the money that you would be by doing everything manually? So just think before do anything. The main thing that is important is final result, not the way you will achieve it. Second commandments: prevention is better than cure. Get in the habit of not using collapse all option when you are trying to collapse. For example, UVW map, you should use collapse 2 option. It's the same stuff that previous commandments. It just save you time because you don't have to go back or undo what you done just to keep the modifiers back on the car. When you have an enemy, it's wise to know these ways. That's because before even we start up with the car, we have to know how the car looks like. You don't need thousands of pictures of it, just few pictures that show what is where on the car, not even the details. You just need to general look of the car. That's all important commandments. Let's start the car. This car is what I used to call it race car. It's with full accessible engine. That means you can hide some of the parts, and as you can see there are many details with the engine. Because of that, we'll have to use more materials, more textures to have this engine really well textured, because in the game, when the player will crash, you may just lose engine cover and see this. So that will give you in the final result better results. By the way, this car is created with Autodesk Maya, and because the modeler of the car, I don't really remember the name, was a person with the approach to the work like screw you, I'm modeler, I don't care about anyone else, the conversion to 3ds Max is pretty suck. As you can see, the whole car is built up with triangles. Well, that's really bad for mapping. I mean, that don't affect the geometry of the car, but it will add you a lot of more work, because when polygons are built with quads, you just click once and you have the quad selected, right? But here you have click twice, and that just make your work longer and longer. So first step, I would recommend you to just remove all the triangles. I used for this reason Max script called the triangulator. You can type that in Google to download it. It's pretty small and useful tool. You just pick the object, unmark, keep UV and keep smoothing, because that will block some of the triangles to be rid of. Click process and you're just waiting what's gonna happen. So as you can see, most of the triangles were converted to the quads, not all of them. So as you probably find out that by yourself, you will have to remove some of them manually. Some of the edges have to be added to the model just to keep the geometry pretty well. So for example, here we have to add the edge by cut option. Just cut by the points, and as we have the quads, we have to remove this edge to remove the triangle. To do this, use backspace button. That will remove just the edge, not the polygon itself. Well, I will skip rest of the car process of the triangulation of this car, because it would take ages to create this, so let's just fire up ready car. So as you can see, car is triangulated, ready to go, and in this next episode we will start to work from the materials, and probably the diffuser will be the first object to create. See you.